trees. There's the 420s.
Your asses belong to me.
Play for Simpson. A new run every week. Beautiful Hurricane Rana from Gabriel. And there's the unholy roller. You're gonna die, J-Style, and a back heel. Oh, yeah.
You are here at the nation's #1 pro wrestling alternative. It's NWA Wildside. We thank you for joining us. Stephen Prazak, along with Dan the Dragon Wilson. And last week, we left you with an amazing main event. It was between the sickle-wielding maniac Tank and his tag team partner, the ticking time bomb Scotty Wren, facing all that Adam Jacobs and 600+ pounds of Iceberg. As you might have guessed, it ended up in a complete melee. Ultimately, with other members of the War Games team, namely Rick Michaels and David Young, being involved in order to help out Tank and Scotty Wren, and none of them could get along. Remotely, is there any respect there? The friendship, I suppose, is out the window. But how are these guys going to cooperate at War Games? I mean, I know every man for himself, but there has to be some level of cooperation. Right now, I see none. But that was last week. My friends, this is this week.
Your main event fans this week stemming from events that occurred last week. RAINMAN, the Soul Assassin, is going to be taking on the Messiah of the Spine Buster, David Young. And we saw last week Homicide suspended indefinitely for attacking Bill Behrens. Jason Cross retiring from professional wrestling. The weight of the NWA Elite has been placed on the shoulders of RAINMAN. A man Jeff G. Bailey says is Bill Behrens' worst nightmare is a hand-picked world champion because he's a black world champion. Jeff G. Bailey crying racism, and I'm not even gonna touch that issue with a 10-foot pole, but that's your main event tonight, David Young and RAINMAN, and it's gonna explode.
My friends, there's more. G-Rated takes on the full-blooded Italians, Tony Mamaluke and Terry Knighinelli. Plus, we have some insane six-man action. It's all this week on NWA Wildside. Damn it, let's do it.
3 weeks. 3 weeks, Jeff Bailey. That's how long I've had to sit and think about what you did. The way you robbed me, the way you took the NWA Wildside title. You know, you brought Jason Cross. He knew. He knew he should never come back in this building again. He knew I'd get him. That's why your belt's held up. That's why Jason Cross isn't here, because he was afraid. But every week, Jeff Bailey, you come in this building with that stupid little smile on your face, that wind tunnel tested hairdo, and every week you think you're gonna bring the next great wrestler in here to take David Young out, to take the Wildside title, to rule this company. You know something? You're bringing RAINMAN. I know what it's like. I know exactly what it's like to be a tag team wrestler. I know what it's like to try to break out and, you know, be somebody by yourself. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you the kid's not going to make it. I'm going to tell you one thing, though, Jeff Bailey. You haven't hurt me. You didn't take my pride. You took my belt. And by God, that pisses me off. That pisses me off, Bailey. And by God, what you've done, Bailey, is you started a war that you can't finish, Jeff Bailey. And I will finish it. I will finish it, Bailey, because one way or the other, I will get my hands on you. One way or the other, you will pay. And one way or the other, David Young will be the NWA Wildside Heavyweight Champion. RAINMAN, you strap him on tight, because by hell, you've got a war tonight.
Last month, the National Wrestling Alliance unleashed TNA, total non-stop action. And now the saga continues with world-class superstars, including the one and only Scott Hall, former world champion Jeff Jarrett, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, hardcore midget mayhem, and feel the heat from the TNA girls. Every Wednesday night at 8, TNA, total non-stop action. Wednesdays will never be the same. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider to order.
Do that every now and then, Don.
Yeah, more then than now.
you'd be calling wrestling through clenched teeth. Oh dear! Kid Xtasy sees the canvas firsthand, face first, courtesy of Terry Knighinelli. And this FBI, after a rough beginning there, seem to have found their rhythm here this week on Wildside.
And that smashed the pimples out of his face.
Ouch.
And that's saying something.
And there's plenty of pimples to go around, but we'll be back with a pimple count later on in this edition of Wildside.
Man!
Just hoisted Kid Xtasy over that top rope.
Xtasy's done.
Xtasy is toast.
If you just look at the pain on Xtasy's face, I don't know if you guys can see it from your vantage point, but I mean, he is just writhing in pain out here on the wooden floor.
Well, that's because Xtasy hit nose first, and that takes about another minute for the rest of his body to hit in there. But Kid Kool now being thrown over that top
man!
security railing. Tony Mamaluke.
Someone help him! Someone help him!
This is becoming a slaughter of G-rated courtesy of the full-blood attack. Oh my! Tony Mamaluke and Kid Kool.
It just shows there's only so far quickness can take you.
It just shows there's only so far you can push a couple of tough Italians.
Or Suedo Italians.
Suedo.
Suedo, your word, not mine.
Don't you mean semi-neo quasi-Suedo? Oh dear! Kid Xtasy once again meets that canvas. Full Nelson with a swing. Kid Xtasy is not going to be able to withstand too much more of this. He's going to black out. Speedy Nelson calls for the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the full-blooded Italians.
And they're not relinquishing the hold. Suffice to say, the FBI defeated G-rated easily. I mean, Kid Kool is still tapping out, for crying out loud. Let's end this.
They've got their act back together. They're on the same page, and they don't want it to be over just yet. They want to inflict some more pain, and I can't blame them.
These athletes participate in professional wrestling matches. The match is over. End of story. Drop the hold.
These kids are wanting school to start back again so they can get back out of that ring.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh no, Onyx has just hopped over the barrier with a chair. Terry Knighinelli splits. Tony Mamaluke follows suit. Hey, the FBI, yes, a formidable tag team, even if they are a young one. But don't monkey around with Onyx.
I've just been informed by Speedy Nelson that he has reversed the decision for the excessive attack by the FBI. The winners by disqualification, G-rated.
They pay the price.
How can you have a disqualification after the match is over?
It looks like FBI came up on the short end of the pay window, to quote the American dream. But if you're not going to relinquish the hold, you're going to pay the price, Don.
Put that music on.
Absolutely.
Oh, Mamaluke with the mic. This ought to be a treat.
That's dangerous.
You like to stick your nose in family business, Onyx? Well, I'm going to bring you a special surprise. At Freedom Fight, you're getting Guido Maritano, former ECW Tag Team Champion.
What? Little Guido Maritano? Little Guido Maritano?
This ends in 2 weeks. And I'm going to make you my girlfriend.
I don't want to see a video of that. Oh, that's grim indeed. Tony Mamaluke and Terry Knighinelli bringing in little Guido Maritano.
And they're getting started right off the bat.
Yeah, the Rage and Jeremy V do not monkey around. However, Future Shock and Slim J, they want to slow the momentum down to them. Slim J just trips on Jeremy V.
From behind.
Boy, Slim going to town on V. Oh, it's a massacre of Jeremy V. It's Andrew Thomas trying to take Scott Cage out of the picture. And it's precisely the way that Future Shock and Slim J want it.
Well, I can see why they brought him in handcuffs now.
Exactly. Sometimes I kind of wish they put the handcuffs on a little bit earlier on.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful drop kick.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind if they forgot to take the handcuffs off either.
That's true. However, Slim J is just as dangerous with handcuffs on as he is with it off. But suffice to say, Future Shock, a really formidable tag team. And boy, using a lot of underhanded tactics. Oh, Jay Freeze now choking the life out of Jeremy V. And Slim J adding... A shot to the cod from Slim J. Swift kick to the ear of Jeremy V, and that'll knock the equilibrium off.
You can just feel the attitude coming off of Slim J. You can see how angry he is, and he's taking it out on his opponents.
That he is. But then again, in Future Shock and Slim J, there's the first time these guys have tagged with each other. There's going to be some sort of chemistry involved, and they're trying it out for the first time here this evening. Oh, a vicious shot from Freeze across Jeremy V.
Oh, Jeremy's got to get a tag on here, quick.
You would think so, but Jeremy V is in the wrong place. There's one of those blind tags, those imaginary tags. Oh! And Jeremy V hits back first on that canvas.
When is the Rage going to learn that they're being their partner's own worst enemy by they're unintentionally distracting the referee?
A very valid point. The first and the last from Ed Ferrara here this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
And Brandon P just chopping the hell out of Jeremy V.
You know, I got to say, I'm impressed with the continuity between Future Shock and Slim J. I mean, these guys, it's the first time they've tagged, and they're showing more continuity and being on the same page than the guys are going to be in the main event at Freedom Fight. I mean, these guys just can't get along. Jeff G. Bailey's troops, they're all on the same page, but the other guys, they can't get it together.
Well, to even things up here now, the Jeff G. Bailey's troops, I mean, they only number 3. It's 3 against 5 as of right now. However, Bailey sure likes it when the cards are stacked in his favor. Oh, dear! It's a chop clinic this week on NWA Wildside. Jeremy V and Jay Freeze mixing it up in 6-man tag action.
Beautiful pump handle.
Perfectly executed from Freeze, but I think his right leg is a little bit sensitive. In comes the real Slim J. I don't think anyone else is claiming to be one.
It's tough to watch this beating Jeremy's getting.
Jeremy's getting ahead into vicious kicks from Slim J.
See, they know exactly what they need to do. They have cut off the ring from their opponents. Jeremy V cannot make the tag, and Slim J, very intelligent, went over there, and he got the Rage all riled up, so they came in. Now again, they're being Jeremy V's worst enemy in this match. That's smarts on this part of Slim J.
That's true. However, the Rage, we're talking about Scott Cage and Mike Pittman, so very passionate about their craft. They want to get involved in the worst possible way. They've seen Future Shock and Slim J just get involved in this match without even tagging, and it's really getting their goat.
Well, that's how they are getting involved, in the worst possible way, because they're not helping their partner. Look at these mental midgets. They keep doing this. They don't realize that they're hurting their partner more. This match is going to be over before they have a chance to get a legal tag.
That's true. Unfortunately, Jeremy V is in the wrong part of the ring.
It's getting tough to watch.
That it is. Future Shock and Slim J making sure that Jeremy V stays on their half of the ring. And they've been quite successful so far in this 6-man tag match on NWA Wildside. Jeremy V fighting for his life to make it the tag in the tagging hands of Mike Pittman.
All right.
Success.
All right.
Referee, unfortunately, did not see that tag was made. It was a legal tag, too.
Oh, come on.
The best laid plans of mice and men.
You can't even be proud of that,
Watch
Ed.
this. Here's some.
Oh, that was unreal.
Again, you talk about continuity, you talk about teamwork, you talk about strategy. You can't be talking about anybody but Slim J and Future Shock.
In this case, the strategy is Future Shock and Slim J is a good one. Big leg drop from Brandon P onto Jeremy V, who's been the only member of his team to see action since the opening bell.
Does anybody on either team have a last name other than a consonant?
No.
Okay.
It's J. Well, there's a Freeze.
You got Slim J, you got Brandon P, you got Jeremy V.
Right, yeah. It's
Freeze is,
Freeze,
okay.
like Pittman and Scott Cage.
Okay.
See, I run rings around your logic, and believe me, that's a short trip.
Steve, I can listen to you get back at that all day long.
Whoa, there's an extra seater, NWA TNA. I'll give you my card. Big chop from Jay Freeze onto Jeremy V. Oh, Slim J going to town. Look at those.
He is brutal for a little guy. Look at the temerity.
Again, I hate to agree with you, but he has shown me more than anybody I have seen tonight.
Big backslide from Jeremy V. Not enough to pin Slim J.
Desperation move.
Oh, man, this guy's exciting. Oh, man.
The neck of Jeremy V as Slim J goes sailing over the top. Jeremy V is ripe to be pinned, but Slim J thinks otherwise for some odd reason.
I got to tell you, I love Slim J's attitude.
Yeah, I get that impression. Oh, dear!
Oh, little payback!
V takes J and drops him back first in the ring. However, V is in the wrong part of town.
Both men need to make the tag. Both men need to get to their respective corners.
Jeremy V is a good 10 feet away from the tagging hands of Mike Pittman and Scott Cage. Could he possibly make it?
We got to get some fresh blood in there.
It is key. V needs to make that tag, and he did. MJ tagging both Cage and Pittman. Well, just as well, both members of the Future Shock are in there.
Who's the legal man?
Yes.
Thank you.
Pittman and Cage double teaming on Jay Freeze.
Yes.
Just desserts, I think.
Absolutely.
Just desserts.
Oh! Oh! What did you see that off the rope?
Body sailing through the air. Slim J over the top rope.
I'm telling you this.
The crowd voicing their approval. Can't repeat what they're saying, but the point is made. And Mike Pittman with a flying body press onto Jay Freeze. But Jay Freeze manages to get his shoulder up.
Slim J is going to town on Jeremy V outside the ring, right in front of us.
Certainly is. But in the ring, it's both members of the Rage who are the legal members, the legally tagged members in this six-man tag. Oh, good night. Knees first. Scott Cage hits that canvas. And Future Shock now going to town.
This is.
Oh, dear.
Oh, man, right in the
Back first.
There's no way you're kicking out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match from Slim J and Future Shock.
A six-man tag, I won't say for the ages, but that's the way we group them here at NWA Wildside. Six of the most amazing athletes you ever see come down any professional wrestling aisle. But tonight, Slim J, along with both members of Future Shock, showed that tonight they were the better men against Rage and Jeremy V.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you something. You got a cold like you see him. That Slim J put on a show.
That he is, and Future Shock are no slouches indeed.
You got that right.
However, the Rage and Jeremy V, we've seen them in one of winning ways in recent days. However, you gotta bring your A game every week here to Wildside. If you don't, things like that will happen.
Exactly. It looks like the final scene from Hamlet here. There's just bodies littering the floor, and I just got to say that you were right. The better team won. I've got to agree with you for once, Steve. Future Shock, Slim J, they brought their A game. They got the win, and Jeremy V. And both members and the Rage. I'm sorry, they go home empty-handed this week.
That's right, they come up on the short end, the pay window. Expression I've seen very often. Looks like though we still have Freedom Fight 2002 coming up here at the NCW Arena. It looks like both members of the Rage want some Future Shock, but both members of Future Shock decide to bail out in the nick of time. And that Freeze Your Feeling is Future Shock and Slim J heading for higher ground. I'm sure all six members of these teams will be seeing action at Future Shock in a major way. As a matter of fact, Freedom Fight 2002 will be available on Wildside Home Video. And Ed, next time you swing around and you shove those fiberglass dreadlocks in my face, I'm going to pound sand in your ass. I swear I will.
Oh, you're getting real tough now because I'm about to step down from this booth. So you know that I'm not going to be sitting here haunting you for the rest of the show. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Don't answer, because I didn't ask you a question. All I want to say is, Future Shock, you are going to see some of the most amazing action, including the War Games main event. Don't miss this show. And I got to tell you, Jeff G. Bailey is going to run wild. His troops are going to run wild over it.
Thanks for the input, Ed Ferrara. Coming up next, Todd and Tony, the new and perhaps improved TNT. It's next on Wildside.
239 days. It's been 239 days since you've injured me, Lost Boys. And since day one, every day that followed was more painful than the day before. In fact, every day that passes that I'm not able to get in the ring and get my payback is another day that my intensity grows. And it's at the point right now where it's about to explode. But you know what? We've waited this long. So the question is, do we wait another 2 weeks and take you out at Freedom Fight? Or do we just take you out right now? Because nobody outdoes TNT when it comes to the big show. Because when it's on the line, we will outperform any team in the world. Why? Because we can. It was 1 year ago at Freedom Fight that we defeated Blackout, when we first showed the world what we can do. And at that time, we were supposed to become stars. But I never got that chance because of you, Lost Boys. Why? Because you were jealous. You knew that we were the better team. You knew that you could not defeat us, that while we were in Wildside, you could not get those tag titles. And I know that you went into Fright Night with intent of taking one of us out. I know you did. So I don't want to settle this thing on the microphone. I want to do it in the ring where it matters. So Lost Boys, I'm telling you to come out right now You don't have to put those titles on the line. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even need to be a match. Because I just want you to get a little understanding of the pain that I've been going through for the past 6 months. Because tonight, Lost Boys, we're gonna injure you. And at Freedom Fight, we're gonna take back our titles. Come on.
TNT calling out the Lost Boys, the Wildside Tag Team Champions.
What's the matter? You need some encouragement? Come on, Lost Boys. Lost Boys. Come on, Lost Boys. They won't even cheer for you. Frankly, Lost Boys, I'm a little disappointed. I thought you had more gumption than that. But we're not going anywhere. If there's any team in the back that wants a shot at greatness, the best tag team in the world is standing in the ring right now. So step up.
Oh dear! I hate it when the lights go out, damn it! Good heavens! A pair of fireballs in the center of the ring that can only mean the Lost Boys. And that also means Todd and Tony, who asked for the Lost Boys, for some reason, have decided to leave the ring. When all of a sudden things seem to get evened up, Todd and Tony decide to turn tail and run. Yeah, they want those Wildside Tag titles, but they want it on their terms. These are two bitter individuals, Todd, Sexton, and Tony Stradlin. But at Freedom Fight, they're going to get their opportunity for the Wildside Tag Team titles held by the inimitable Azrael and Gabriel, collectively known as the Lost Boys, standing proud in the ring.
For years, NWA Wildside has been a revolution in professional wrestling, but now, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on pay-per-view, NWA TNA, Total Nonstop Action, will be an evolution in professional wrestling. Don West, tell them about it.
You know the part that I can't believe, Ed? You know the part that nobody can believe? It's only $9.95!
How much?
I didn't stutter! $9.95!
This man doesn't stutter.
You're gonna get to see the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
The controversial Scott Hall.
Jeff Jarrett!
It's unbelievable.
So much more. I'm telling you folks, you can't miss it. And for only $9.95, you can't afford to miss it!
What's that price again?
$9.95!
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on pay-per-view, NWA TNA, Total Nonstop Action.
Wednesdays will never be the same.
Introducing first, representing out of the Dark City, accompanied to the ring by Wildside CEO Jeff G. Bailey, weighing in at 228 pounds. He is the Soul Assassin, RAINMAN.
Soul Assassin, how is that actually spelled? Is it S-O-U-L or S-O-L-E? If it is S-O-L-E, we're talking about RAINMAN, who is without his tag team partner, namely Homicide, who is now suspended indefinitely from Wildside for attacking NWA Vice President Bill Barron for what seems like a dozen times. Barron showed more than a lot of leniency in dealing with the team of Blackout, but now Homicide completely out of the picture. Interestingly enough, this gives RAINMAN a chance to shine as a solo artist here at Wildside. I'm not sure if he's up for the task. I mean, he and Homicide have been a tag team from the get-go. RAINMAN seems to be strangely ill at ease out here by himself, and Jeff G. Bailey doesn't really count as another human being. Pawn scum on two legs might be more appropriate.
And introducing his opponent.
But if it's an opportunity to shine that RAINMAN wants, he's going to get it in spades here this evening against nothing less than the former Wildside heavyweight champion, nothing less than the Messiah of the Spine Buster, David Young.
From Memphis, Tennessee, weighing in at 226 pounds, the former Wildside heavyweight champion, the Messiah of the Buster, David Young!
And the first thing on Young's agenda, going after Jeff Bailey. Oh man, I wish I got a hold of him. Jeff Bailey is the lowest of the low. I scrape my shoes of stuff like Jeff Bailey daily. But tonight is an opportunity for RAINMAN that I hope he's not going to squander. But out here by himself, without his brother in arms, Homicide. I mean, this is strange territory indeed for RAINMAN.
RAINMAN and David Young getting ready to lock it up in your main event this week on Wildside. Just 1 week removed from Freedom Fight 2002 collar and elbow tie up in the center of the ring. This is quite possibly the single most important match of RAINMAN's career because Jeff G. Bailey has seen something in RAINMAN, and he is making him the cornerstone, the foundation of the NWA Elite with the departure of Jason Cross, the suspension last week of Homicide. He is making RAINMAN his go-to guy. He knows something about RAINMAN. He knows what RAINMAN is capable of. And RAINMAN has the opportunity of a lifetime now because David Young, the former Wildside Heavyweight Champion, 4-time World Tag Team Champion, 2-time Wildside Heavyweight Champion, a 12-year veteran, and one of the most popular athletes in Wildside history.
Let me shoot holes in your theory there, Dan. I think this might be a mere attrition because NWA Elite members seem to be dropping like flies for one reason or another. Some good reasons, some bad reasons. Jeff Bailey's camp is getting more and more vacant. Is RAINMAN being handed the opportunity to shine his souls because he's one of the few folks left? Or does Bailey truly believe in RAINMAN? I'm sorry, there's a lot of other questions here. I'm kind of stumped.
David Young on the apron. David Young comes up rolling senton onto the Soul Assassin. And I agree with you in part, Steven. I think it's a little bit of both. It's obvious that the Elite's numbers are dwindling. However, RAINMAN has proven what a talent he can be. Many say one of the show stealers in many of the matches with the Lost Boys. RAINMAN, one of the underdog athletes in Wildside for a long period of time. In tag, he dominated. Can he do it in singles competition? He goes for an Acai moonsault, slips off the ropes. He comes back. Acai moonsault to the outside by RAINMAN.
Second time's the charm. We all know about the abilities of RAINMAN in the ring, but week after week, it's only been with Homicide. Homicide now suspended indefinitely by NWA Vice President Bill Behrens after yet another ambush and attack. And I can't say I blame Behrens. Personally, I would have suspended Homicide the first time he did it, but the point is moot. But it's RAINMAN, his opportunity to shine here tonight against the Messiah of the Spine Buster, and I could not think of a taller order indeed.
Both men on the outside. David Young making his way back into the ring now. RAINMAN following suit. And the Soul Assassin is at a size disadvantage in mass to David Young, but not a height. RAINMAN standing at about 6'4", 6'5". David Young at about 6'2". RAINMAN's got a couple of inches on him, but David Young's got him by a couple of pounds in thickness. Waistlock by David Young. Neither man going anywhere. Goes for an elbow. RAINMAN ducks. Oh my goodness! Release Northern Lights suplex by David Young. RAINMAN gets caught upside down in the dreadful tree of woe. David Young with a baseball slide right to his Dark City goods.
Precisely, that was the target. I couldn't think of a better move to curtail the attack of RAINMAN. David Young is an unstoppable human being this week here in Wildside. Young on top of RAINMAN for the pin. Not enough for that elusive 3 count. What a main event.
Tremendous matchup here. RAINMAN's got to show what he can do for Jeff G. Bailey and for himself. David Young, the Messiah, the Spine Buster, simply needs the win here because he's the current active #1 contender, being the former heavyweight champion. Of course, Jason Cross was the previous champion, but he flaked out on us. We don't know where he's at. He's gone. The title is vacated. David Young, the former champion, never got his rematch. That's why he's been added to the War Games match at Freedom Fight 2002. Wildside heavyweight title will be on the line. David Young with a side headlock applied on RAINMAN, and we got to take a commercial break.
Back with more right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm Dan the Dragon Wilson along with Stephen Prazak. You're watching the #1 professional wrestling alternative, NWA Wildside. David Young against RAINMAN, your main event. David Young to RAINMAN, goes for a powerbomb. RAINMAN counters, lands on his feet. Dug of a clothesline by RAINMAN. Butt bomb.
That certainly took the wind out of David Young's sails. But RAINMAN has experienced more than his share of punishment. In your main event this week on Wildside, RAINMAN on top of Young, and fists continue to be a-flying.
RAINMAN is pounding David Young into the ground. And RAINMAN is very talented on a variety of levels. We know about his street credentials and his criminal record and his background as a thug. Big drop kick by RAINMAN, but that doesn't look like the wrestling of a thug. It looks like the wrestling of a sleek and protected assassin. And RAINMAN is exactly that, the soul assassin. He was the high flyer of Blackout, and now on his own against David Young. This is one hell of a main event, Steven.
Hey, if I don't know any better, I swear RAINMAN was greasing your palms. Gee.
Shoulder tackles.
Hard to believe that RAINMAN's got a fan in Dan the Dragon Wilson. Obviously, the fact that
I'm a fan of his ability. I'm not a fan of his attitude nor his affiliation, much like Jason Cross. I always said Cross was a talent, and he no doubt deserved to be getting the high-profile matches he got because he was simply that damn good.
Oh, dear, Jeff Bailey just clocked David Young with those little knuckles of his.
And Jason Cross proved he's got the heart the size of an oyster, and he's out of here.
Boy, there are a lot of flaky guys in professional wrestling. Happily, most of them are CEOs. And not just in this company.
RAINMAN now in control. Knee to the midsection. Make it 2. Double underhook suplex with a release by the Soul Assassin. Lateral press.
RAINMAN is not exactly wrestling like a thug here this week.
And that's exactly it. RAINMAN's done a little bit of extensive training with Dory Funk Jr. down in Ocala, Florida at the Funkin' Conservatory to polish up his wrestling. And he was always the wrestler of Blackout. Homicide excelled much more in the brawl because Homicide, we know, got a criminal record a mile long and a fuse that much shorter.
And if it wasn't for that suspension, that criminal record just very easily could have gotten a little bit longer.
RAINMAN goes for a back body drop. David Young counters with a sunset flip, 2 count. RAINMAN able to cut David Young up. Dug of a clothesline by Young. Spinning kick takes David Young down by RAINMAN.
I'm still coming down from the new low last week, so for lack of a better term, about Jeff Bailey's claims of racial baiting from Bill Behrens. I mean, one of the most absurd claims I have ever heard on a wrestling television show, and there are plenty of those.
Definitely, but you know, Jeff G. Bailey in his empty statements, racism, it's simply a blanket statement, and all it is a statement to cover the fact that Jason Cross disappeared. His prize pupil, his top dog, his golden boy, Jason Cross, hit the bricks. He was not reliable. He wasn't as dedicated to the NWA Elite as we thought. Of course, his side of the story is that Bill Behrens had him, persecuted so long and held back that Jason Cross, he just snapped and he quit. But I know that not to be the truth.
The thought progression of Jeff Bailey knows no bounds.
It's all propaganda with him, Steve.
That it is. New lows week after week. Boom! Major power slam from the Messiah of the Spine Buster this week, David Young, onto RAINMAN. But the match now is like 12, 13 minutes old. And Young in no shape to make it a pin attempt on RAINMAN. It's dead even. It's a dead heat this week on Wildside.
You know, David Young has now joined that dysfunctional War Games team of Scotty Wren, Tank. We saw them last week getting into it. Rick Michaels, his former best friend and former hated enemy. You know, you don't know what side of the fence Rick Michaels is playing on. So many variables in this matchup. Double clothesline. Both men collide. AJ Styles also on that team. And the NWA Elite is down, dwindling to 3 members. Jeff G. Bailey said it's RAINMAN that he wants to be the chosen champion. It's RAINMAN that he wants to win the War Games. What pressure on the shoulders of the Soul Assassin. But if the Elite is as cohesive as they have previously been, then Adam Jacobs and the Iceberg are in full tilt behind RAINMAN. Block of a punch. David Young fires back with a right hand. And another. David Young with another right hand. He's pounding RAINMAN in the corner. David Young known to be a brawler of his own when he needs to get the job done. Reversal, another reversal, counter reversal. Andrew Thomas gets creamed.
Normally that's good.
Spinebuster!
Spinebuster from David Young. But Andrew Thomas having been creamed in the corner. For lack of a better term. Oh no! Jeff Bailey, I don't know if the camera's picking up, but Jeff Bailey is spraying the damn ether, making a repeat performance, damn it.
Oh, and it's still as pungent as ever. Jeff G. Bailey's got that damn ether rag. He's got that ether rag.
But David Young headed Jeff Bailey off it. It's homicide! It's the suspended homicide!
Get him the hell out of here, damn it! Get him the hell out of here! He's suspended!
Where's our crack security team? Oh heaven, it's the reunited Blackout, the suspended homicide and Rainman, double teaming David Young. Oh my.
Violator 420! The Violator 420 on David Young, not like this! Damn it to hell! No!
Terrific. The cards once again stacked in the favor of the NWA Elite.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Soul Assassin, RAINMAN.
But he wasn't the sole member of the NWA Elite to defeat David Young. It took Homicide and also now Jeff G. Bailey. Literally 3 against 1. That's precisely the way these guys operate, week after week. It's the old hat trick here. Here comes Rick Michaels, the original chosen one, coming to the aid of his one-time best friend and sometimes hated enemy. And these 2 members of the War Games team for Freedom Fight.
He's got a baseball bat, for crying out loud.
And David Young doesn't want anything to do with Rick Michaels. After the fight that David Young had just endured, trusting somebody, frankly, is not a high priority at the moment.
This team for the War Games is falling apart. Oh, and it's breaking down between Michaels and Young.
Hell, I would think that the NWA Elite team being only 3 members might be at a disadvantage. Now, I don't know.
The hell, it's Tank.
Tank had to break it up. Hey, just last week, we saw Young and Michaels in to break things up between Tank and Scotty Wren. And now it's Tank trying to break things up between Young and Michaels.
Tank returning the favor here. Cooler heads will prevail in this situation. Scotty Wren trying to keep these men apart here. AJ Styles, of course, not here this evening. He's in New Jersey.
Oh, man. These guys are just frankly not remotely getting along at all. Rick Michaels, Tank, Scotty Wren, and David Young. These 4 guys, along with AJ Styles, are going to have to deal with each other in War Games.
These guys are a team, for crying out loud. They're supposed to be a damn team.
But now with every man for himself, with the winner becoming the Wildside Heavyweight Champion, I guess...
And Bailey is on the ramp grinning like a Cheshire cat. He couldn't be more happy.
This is supposed to be a team? You guys can't even get along with each other. And when we get you in that cage, we are gonna bleed every one of you to death.
Words from CEO Jeff Bailey just out of camera range. And it looks like Jeff Bailey might be getting his wish. As David Young, Rick Michaels, Tank, and Scotty Wren are at each other's throats.
Just not a good situation here.
No, it's ugly, and it's getting uglier minute by minute.
And David Young screwed again by the NWA Elite. Screwed again by Jeff G. Bailey.
Hell, he's been there before. It certainly is not new territory for David Young.
It's becoming so familiar to him, he might want to invest in some lubricant.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Terrible. Rick Michaels, Scotty Wren. David Young's already stormed off here. Tank standing in the middle of this ring. Oh, no, that's Scotty Wren and Rick Michaels mixing it up.
Rick Michaels and Scotty Wren renewing their rivalry.
Freedom Fight 2K2. It means one thing, and that's War Games. You see this fence? It's gonna cage 8 men. And 8 men are gonna battle for the most prestigious prize in wrestling today, the Wildside Heavyweight title. But this time, it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be every man for himself. On the one side, David Young, you can't trust Rick Michaels. Rick Michaels, you can't trust Scotty Wren. Scotty Wren, you can't trust Tank. And you all know that AJ Styles wants to be heavyweight champion. You may have us outnumbered 5-3 thanks to that racist scum, Bill Behrens, but it doesn't matter. You're not a team. We're a team. We're single-minded.
with one goal, and that's for this man right here, the Soul Assassin RAINMAN, to be the next heavyweight champion. And I'm not worried about a damn thing inside this cage, because I've got the Iceberg, the most depraved, sadistic man to ever set foot in a professional wrestling ring. And this time, Iceberg, I want you to take this and stab over and over and over till those son of a bitches have more holes than a piece of Swiss cheese. Oh my God, I'm telling you now, War Games is gonna mean one thing, and that's buckets and buckets of blood. The canvas will be nothing but red. And it's not gonna be RAINMAN's blood. It's not gonna be Iceberg's blood. And it's not gonna be Adam Jacobs. Where the hell is Adam anyway?
I think he's laying some lumber. I seen him leave with some chicks earlier.
It doesn't matter. We're all on the same page. We're a team, united. And what that means for all you other saps. Oh God, we are gonna destroy every one of you. AJ Styles, golden boy, with your pretty face. This is what's gonna happen to you. This is your face, AJ Styles. And when Iceberg gets it, he's gonna take it and push it into this cage and grind it and grind it. Oh my God, till there's nothing but goo left where your face used to be. I'm telling you now, every single one of you will drown in your own blood in the War Games. And when you're laying on the mat, choking on your own blood, blinded by your own blood, and the Iceberg splashes you, and you're gasping for that last breath, the only words you're gonna be able to get out is "I quit." Every one of you is gonna quit. We're gonna destroy all of you. War Games 2K2. The night 5 scums drowned in their own blood.